And
Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time for Moon Shadows. I am here with my one and only Ona. Hello,
hello,
Ona.
hello. How's this like hot, super hot sun treating you? What sun conjunct
Well, I don't
Jupiter?
know if I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but not good. Not good.
Giblets hasn't left the house since Friday. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, came home. I was home by like 11 and I haven't left since.
Well, if I didn't have to walk down to the office, I might not have left either.
It's a public health hazard.
Yeah, it's about 100 here right now. Yeah, not
Yeah.
happy. Not happy.
Me.
But of
Ooh.
course, today is tomorrow is the new moon, right? And it's early. It's like 6 o'clock, six something in the morning here, so five something in the morning for you.
Yes,
Um,
5:32.
yeah, so 6:32 in on the East Coast, 5:32 Central, 4:32 Mountain, and 3:32 uh,
Yeah.
Pacific. And I'm sorry for those guys who watch us from Hawaii.
The coolest time of day. Yeah.
Um, I
It's
actually got up at 4 o'clock this morning. I woke up and I was wide awake. But so then I had the idea, cancer is associated with the mother, and I remembered that in the summer, which used to drive me crazy, is my mother would get up super early, like as soon as my dad left, she'd start cleaning the house.
Mhm.
And it's summertime, so I would want to be like just sleeping and not being bothered, and she would be banging things and vacuuming. I mean, we had like it was an apartment, so like there was no, you were in it. You were always in whatever was going on in the apartment. So,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, this is why my mother used to get up early. So I got up early this morning. I washed the kitchen floor. I vacuumed. I did all the things that were going to make me sweat
Yeah. New ones.
early. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today is the day before the new moon, but we have the sun conjoining Jupiter today.
Can you tell?
Well, Jupiter makes everything bigger, and the sun's already the biggest thing, right? And of course, it is summer,
Yeah, but
so the sun
like
is.
this, it's even more. It seems like I'm like, stop it, stop this heat thing, guys.
Right.
They're both male planets, right? This,
Yes. Well, the
Jupiter.
only two female planets are the moon and Venus.
Yeah, okay. So we've got like that going on.
Yeah, so it's super duper egoic. Now, I don't know if there's anything going on in the outer world that might indicate people's egos being extraordinarily humongous, but I would guess there's probably something going on out there.
Yeah, yeah.
So we had an interesting, let's talk a little bit about how the moon spoke to you today.
So I try to record everything like my first when I wake up. It's a song. A lot of times it's something I smell because of the synesthesia. And this morning it was like I don't want to say ammonia because ammonia is so corrosive kind of thing. It really bites you, but it had this like ammonia, like organic, right? Like a organic compound. I'm like, like a volatile organic compound because when plants decay, they do throw off
Hmm.
gas, ammonia
Yeah,
gas sometimes.
right. And
So
methane
I'm
and all
sniffing
kinds of stuff.
around. I write it down. Volatile organic compounds, VOC. The plants seem okay. It does feel directional. I'm like, whatever. I don't know. I don't want it to sound inflated because of everything going on, but
Right,
something's gotta, that smell to it. We
right.
start talking about the moon.
Then we start talking about the moon. And this morning, after, I do my thing in the morning, and somebody commented on my channel that the moon is void of course today and tomorrow. No, yesterday and today. It went void yesterday. And void of course means that it's not making any major aspects until it moves into the next sign, right? And
Yeah.
so it went void of course at 4:26 a.m. yesterday. So 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning for you, right? And it doesn't actually go into Cancer, which is the next sign that it's moving into because it's in Gemini now, until 11:44 p.m. this evening, which means that the moon is void of course for 2 days.
Hmm.
And void of course, if you look at it, it'll say VOC.
Hmm. And what did I write down about what I smelled this morning? VOC.
VOC.
So
So,
she's tripping. The moon is tripping and sending me these messages like, hang in there, I'm void of course. Like almost, I'm preparing for this new moon and thinking about some of the themes, went to bed and thought about it too as I'm waking, like, oh, I want to look at the chart. I want to see what I get. As I'm sniffing the dirt in my plants, and the moon's like, I'm void of course.
yeah, yeah. It might have been easier if you just looked in your calendar.
It might have. It's something
But
I don't track. I don't track those void of course event. I know a lot of people do, but it gets like too technical for me when, it starts to lose its aspects. I just know when it's moving into a new one and that kind of thing, and the elements and the rulers and stuff, but I never track the void of course moon.
and the void of course moon is going to be a special, well, it's always important because when the moon is void of course, we feel unconnected. It can almost feel like you're living in your own little bubble. And there's not a lot of certainty when the moon is void of course.
No.
you know, and there isn't a whole lot of certainty with the moon anyway, because it's not the nature of the moon, unless it's in like Taurus, maybe Capricorn,
Right.
maybe Scorpio. Then you're like, ah, right? But pretty much,
But the sun is in Cancer and she's ruling Cancer. So it's even more. So maybe I should pay attention to that, or it's a sign to like there is something distinct and something you need to pay attention to when the moon is void, of course. Ona, come on.
well, now you know. See, now you know you'll pay attention, but you can't be held accountable or responsible if you don't know.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't know. Um, which is also something that I think we have to keep in mind in these times that, some people just don't know. And they find out, and we have to be a little gentle, I think, with people when they find out, maybe. But that's another aside. So we have the new moon in Cancer happening tomorrow. And I'm gonna pull the chart up if
Yeah.
that's if that's good, because
Yeah.
we'll probably pull some cards on this and all that
I
stuff.
always say this one's important or this one's intense. This one's intense. This,
This one, yeah, well, because Jupiter is connected to it, right? Jupiter makes
yeah.
everything bigger. So I want to just do this on the, so it's nice and big. All right. Ugh.
It's the Jupiter, and that's the squares and all that Saturn, Neptune menage going on up there.
So, um,
Aries.
so what I have here is actually, well, this is the new moon, right? It's the new moon is at 4:07. Which I always you when you doing the moon and you like want to put a Sabian symbol to it, you round up.
Yeah.
If this was 0401, you'd still go to 5 degrees. But if it was 0400, you look at the fourth degree. Okay, so we're looking at the fifth degree here, and we talked about this on Mystic Sisters. I think the actual Mystic Sisters on Saturday, and then that special that we had
Mm.
because
Yes.
we figured,
Oh,
well,
right.
we needed to talk to each other, number one, I think, and then also see how people were doing with, the shenanigans that occurred over the
Yeah.
weekend, right? Okay. Um, but we have the new moon in a yod configuration
I
with
know.
Mars and Pluto. And the yod and the tip of the yod, the point, the finger, the fickle finger of fate or the finger of God, is pointing to Pluto in Aquarius. And Pluto in Aquarius is power to the people, but Pluto is also nuclear, right? It's nuclear energy. So we're at this
Mm.
point where God or goddess or spirit is pointing to that theme. The this excuse me, Jupiter, the sun, and the moon are all in conjunct Pluto. In conjuncts are always about making adjustments. And this adjustment is adjustment in the way we think. And then we also have Pluto in conjunct Mars. And Pluto and Mars are the two planets that deal with our evolution. Pluto is our unconscious
Mm.
desires, and Mars is how we make those desires conscious. And it's also in an inconjunct, but the inconjunct that Mars and Pluto are in is in a waning inconjunct. So it has more of the energy of Scorpio, and all inconjuncts require adjustments. And so what we're being asked to do is to change our feelings about something, which I find, as a Cancer, near impossible to change your feelings. You have feelings and you have to feel them. So one of the things that we're doing is, in order to sort of move through this, we have to feel everything. And there's a whole lot of stuff we can be watching that will aid us in our ability to feel. So this is an incredibly emotionally sensitive and difficult time, because it's as if I'm a Cancer and we're very sensitive, but now everybody is in that place,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody is super sensitive.
We're
Uh,
not we're not used to the frequency like Cancer, you know, that energy, how, you know what I mean?
well, and then Jupiter potentiates everything. So
Yeah.
it's enough that it's a new moon in Cancer, but then you put Jupiter next to it, and then it blows everything kind of out of proportion. But this is definitely, and then the other thing that is going on is that this new moon with Jupiter is actually in a pretty powerful square to Saturn and Neptune, which
That's
just both moved into Aries,
yeah, that's
right?
the I know. That's what this new moon is sort of, it's where I feel that anticipatory feelings are coming from. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to inflate that, but when you've got sort of this anxious thing and you're starting to process and look at it and you're like, oh yeah.
Well, and it's a first quarter square. Saturn first quarter square to Jupiter, Saturn first quarter square to the sun and the moon, Neptune first quarter square to Jupiter, the sun and the moon. First quarter squares are crisis in action. And so we feel the need to take an action. Problem is, we don't know where we're going. Things aren't clear,
One effing clue.
right? So what I think the way to navigate this is, because the outer world is so tied up, confused, interconnected. Everybody's like, because what's happening is opening up all these wounds for people, right? No matter what side of the the gate you're on, so to speak, you're going to have an issue. And cancer is always connected to childhood. So it's issues around being vulnerable. I mean, why do we even have nuclear weapons? So that we never have to use them. That never really made any sense to me. I always thought, well, if we never have to use them, let's just take them off the table.
Right.
Let's just wipe that clean and say, nope, that's not what that's for.
Well,
Right.
it's ridiculous because it's ridiculous everything that's going on. It's that we're even having a discussion about that.
We've been discuss well, I was born in 61, you were born in 65, you don't mind me,
No, you
dishing on your
don't know
age.
I just turned 60. I didn't make that a secret.
But we were born in the nuclear age.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, the kids now, their primary fear is probably getting shot in class. Mine was getting nuked. So it's that anxiety of that, right? So we're living in this age, this nuclear age, where it's not getting any safer.
It's not. And I don't,
Certainly didn't make things safer, right?
yeah,
So there's that anxiety. There's the anxiety that's created by the squares.
yeah.
Um,
It's the
and
squares, right? You want to focus on this new moon is so in Cancer is a powerful is listening. It's listening, right? You got
and
to,
and I and I think it's like one of the things that's I think real significant about this new moon, because of its connections to everything else in the chart, is that as much as we'd like to feel that we're safe, we want to be safe in our homes and safe in our countries, there's no safety unless everybody is safe, right? There's this sense of like it has to include everybody to be truly. And I think this new moon in Cancer is an opportunity with Jupiter there, because now Jupiter is a 12-year cycle, right?
yeah,
So this is Jupiter coming into Cancer is understanding our vulnerabilities, understanding our feelings and our emotions, understanding our childhood. I mean, we're not really that good to children in this world order,
yeah,
right? So why wouldn't we feel vulnerable,
yeah,
right? So there's I think a healing that's necessary with this that we have access to. Now I do want to read the Sabian symbol because this Sabian symbol. I'm like, okay. So, but before we get to the Sabian symbol, I just want to point out that today's day is a 40 over 4 day.
yes,
All right. The 40 over 4 is a page of cups. I have it over here on the right.
yes,
The page of cups corresponds to mutable water, also known as Pisces. So anybody has Pisces out there, your Pisces is yelling. Well, what's in Pisces but the North Node is in Pisces. So we're being asked to move in the direction of Pisces, which is about healing, compassion, universal brotherhood, love, unconditional love, impersonal love, right? We are all one. That's very Pisces energy. Okay, so we have that overlay to this day. But it is also the path of life or the life lesson, the same thing. Path of life lesson of Donald Trump, who's of course a very significant player, whether we like it or not, he's a significant player at this time, right? Um, the North Node is in Pisces, 22 degrees. It's pretty much exactly square Trump's nodes, which he has his sun and his moon on. So he's at an evolutionary crossroads.
yeah,
Now there is a thought that whoever the most whoever the most powerful country is, we're still considered, I think, because we have the biggest army or something. the most powerful country. But the leader of that country, where they're at, they say half the people are below his level of evolution and half the people are above it. So before, but that also extrapolates to the world.
How far
So,
along you
so
going?
half the people are like here up and here up, right? Very Gemini in its way, because Gemini is about
Yeah.
black and white. In a way, Gemini is an extreme energy because you go to the extreme light or you go to the extreme dark, right? And it's the balance of that and the understanding of that. Um, so it's square his sun, moon, and his nodes of fate. So this is a fateful time for him. And this new moon actually falls on Elon Musk's sun in Cancer.
Oh, he's having a solar return?
Well, his birthday, I think, is the 28th. So
Okay.
it's a couple of days, but it's right around this. I think his sun is at 6 degrees of Cancer, 5 or 6 degrees. I think it's like 6 degrees. It's five
Oh,
something. So both those people are getting activated by this new moon in different ways. Well, through Trump through his nodes, but that's not because of the new moon.
yeah.
Although the moon, the nodes are the nodes of the moon, and so we're being asked to evolve. And
Yeah.
and actually, so is he. So we'll see how he does with that. But I want to point out now that I've added those ingredients to the stew, let's take a look at the Sabian symbol and see how this sits with us. It says, an automobile wrecked by a train, respecting karma.
Yeah.
The collective will of the community has power to bring destruction to an individual out of alignment with their destiny. Anticipation of the irrefutable consequences of our imperfections. However, however much we honor the right of the individual to be fully self-expressive, it is always good to remember that there must be within the context of the community. They must be within the context of the community. Any attempt to repudiate our role as part of something bigger will put us up against our own shortcomings, and we will find we cannot escape the negative side of who we are.
Yep.
So this
Where's
sort of brings that sort of Pluto in Aquarius energy even more forward. We cannot, as an individual, go against the community and the destiny, the karmic destiny of humanity. You will be crushed like a car hit by a train.
yeah. Yeah.
And maybe the train gets derailed and you have to put the train back on the tracks, but that car is not going anywhere. That car is done, right? So these are the symbols and the signs. It's I don't know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the other thing is the United States, Jupiter is at 6 degrees, I think, of Cancer. So this is actually on the United States Jupiter as well in the Sibley chart. So again, the United States is sort of involved. Well, of course, we're involved.
So it's a Jupiter return for the United
It's a
States.
Jupiter return. That's right.
12 years
That
ago.
starts, that's right, 12 years ago. So 12 years ago would have been 2013. Is that 12 years? No, no, I can't do math in my head. Oh, hold on. It's 2025 and 12 years ago.
20
Yeah, 2013.
2013.
We can go back to 2013.
Uh,
When the last time we had a Jupiter.
okay.
Um, all right, so I'm gonna get out of this now, and we can talk about some other stuff. Oops, what's that? Oh, here we go. What's this? The United States. The United States. What do I have here? Oh, the progressions of the United States.
Second different.
The north node of the moon. This is interesting. The north node of the moon, the progressed north node of the United States is on the United States Mercury. So um, that's just, hold on a second. I have to get out of here. Okay.
Cancer.
Just indicating like Mercury is the voice of the people.
Yeah.
So we have, while everything seems crazy and nutty and like, what can we really do? We still have our voice. We still need to have our voice heard. And so you need to, write or email or whatever you got to do, call your representatives and let them know what it is that, you want and you don't want. It still matters here. We're not, even though we're on the cusp of something that can be something we've already done and failed at, and because we didn't learn our lesson, we're going to do it again. We don't have to do it again.
Right.
We don't have to have another Iraq. We don't have to have another Afghanistan. We don't have to have another Vietnam or Korea. We can wake up and say enough is enough. And I think there's a lot of people on both sides of the divide, we'll call it, who feel the same way. I think they did
Yeah.
I think they said 80% or 86% of Americans do not want another war.
Nobody wants it. If somebody said they want it,
Well, I don't know. I mean, I remember Iraq, people were rah, 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 rah.
oh,
And I had to go on a homeopathic remedy.
yeah, right.
I said to the homeopath, I says, I don't know, I can't get this stuff out of my head.
Yeah,
She says, you're too absorptive. You have to go on cal carb. So she put me on cal carb and it helped. It helped.
that really messed with those kids.
It
Really,
messed with all of us.
really bad. And all during this time, I'm working as a nurse, right? The Iraqi War. I was at the Oaknell Navy Hospital as a civilian because the Mercy was out for the war. Those kids were messed up,
I know.
really bad, really bad.
Right. And the thing about that particular
That's what
time,
bothers me. Like these people are just like playing games, and people that are on the ground, it is momentous. You can't rationalize it.
no,
Yeah.
which makes our position as observers of what's going on instead of necessarily direct participants of what's going on even more important because those people can't speak for themselves. They're running for their freaking lives. And the future belongs to our children, and our children do not want anything to do with this.
And I really, what I don't think we can appreciate that the people that are dropping bombs and doing it's how it's affecting them, like, you know, how old they are, where they are in their and how I mean, the idea of that, who brainwashed you into thinking this was a good thing?
I had a patient years ago who he was in the Marines, the Navy, and the Army. He did all three services. He was in I think he was in World War II or Korea. I can't remember. Then he was in,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. He did all three. And when he was in the army, which I think was when the Vietnam era for him, he uh, he used to train soldiers how to shoot. He said most soldiers cannot shoot another person. They shoot over their head. He said you can't get people to really kill other people.
No, you can't.
And so but of course now there's all this technology. So even as we watch these people getting, which is terrible and awful, these poor people like in California getting tackled by these people in masks, and it's like militarized. You don't even know who's coming at you, right?
Right.
There's such a disconnect between all the gear they have and the people that they're hurting.
Vicky, it
It's like a
is,
protection. It's like a shell, and that shell has to be cracked open
I gotta
because we can't
say,
be doing this to each other.
everybody is on defense about that whole thing. I was waiting in line to get ice cream the other day at the Windy City Yido's place, and two security guards walked in, and everybody's eyes, I looked at everybody in the place, looked at them, looked at their, see their name, badge, anything that might identify. Everybody's on like a defense. Like they saw and noticed that these guys had walked in.
Well, we have to
Yes.
be.
And their car that they came out is like, private security. There was a Cubs game kind of thing. But we are just waiting to correct exactly what you're explaining.
Yeah. We're either gonna,
To
we're either
correct,
waiting with our phones,
we're
right?
waiting to correct it. We're on guard. We're all looking to correct this.
I know.
Even targeting people that have nothing to do with anything, just because of the uniforms they look like they're wearing. But yeah, the identifiers are important. The
So,
badge. It's 90 degrees. Go ahead, wear some more masks, Ice. Wear a bunch of them. Make sure you pile them all up. A lot of them. Wear your masks in 95-degree heat. Keep going. Let's see how long that lasts.
so, what do you have for? I'm wearing all my Cancer stuff. I got my moonstone on. I have pearls, and I brought my little selenite.
I did put a selenite piece on. I did that. I haven't worn this one in a while because I was trying to rehang it. Grab my moonstones when I was talking to you. No trouble with this, not a chip or a cookie.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, look at it. But the aragonite was
right.
um what I landed on yesterday. I know it's a big piece and not a lot of people have them, but it is one of those calming it's a nerve tonic for me. It's kind of a nerve tonic, honestly. I could like lay my hand on it if I need to focus because it looks like a brain. I mean, it really does look like a brain.
Yeah. A lumpy brain, but a brain all the
So
same.
it's gonna sit, but it's not the size that you can carry around with you.
Not easily.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh, I mean, I get you. I mean, you could make a tiara and stick it on top of your head. That might work. Put it in your bun or something like
I
that.
have
Well,
a
neither one
tiara.
of us have enough hair for a bun, so I guess we can't do that.
I
So,
have a tiara flower crown for the parade.
oh, okay. When
And wings.
you're gonna do the Reiki parade,
Street Reiki. Yeah.
street Reiki.
Fairy wings and oh.
So I did look up the healing properties of aragonite because it did come to you. It says aragonite has a powerful ability to help you confront your darker issues. It reveals inner truths about yourself that you barely even know were there. Perhaps you'd hidden something away for long ago, hidden something away long ago and forgotten about it, or maybe it's subconsciously been suppressed. Whatever it is, aragonite brings it swirling to the surface and assists you in releasing it. And that's sort of in line with the whole idea of Cancer being connected to your childhood and your raising up and
Mhm.
and all of that. So this is a very vulnerable moon, and it is a self-protective moon.
Yeah.
And I
And
think we
he's
need to sit
reminding
with
me
that.
in my I have like an ancestor altar with like the best view over in the corner there, that if you put an ancestral piece on your altar for this new moon, it will kind of honor where all of this comes from. The feelings, the the Cancer feelings, the either good or bad sometimes.
Right.
Maybe,
Right. Maybe even putting on your altar a little piece of your mom
oh,
or
for
something
it's
for,
always,
well, my mom's always on my altar too. I know. I have a little, I got the ashes and a little thing. But I mean, just for other people, like who don't know, whose mothers may not be ashes at
yeah.
this point, right?
Oh, you know what? I could sell my mom's ashes. You
No,
can
you
have
can't.
some on your altar too.
Can't. Yeah, so that's honoring the mother. And of course, the mother of all mothers is Mother Earth, and this is a time to honor her as well. In this time of mass confusion and suffering, and which all seems very unnecessary to me, but I'm just one person. This is a time to honor the mother.
That's exactly what I drew. Now that I think about it,
Let's see.
you see, like there might be sort of a crone thing going on here. This would be she doesn't have her dentures in.
Yeah, yeah. I also saw the a Virgin Mother in that.
And then there's somebody kneeling.
Right, and there's also a face. See the two eyes?
Yep.
And like the third eye in the middle?
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
I'm like, look, I drew volatile gases. It's the new moon in Cancer.
Yes, it is.
It's going up there. That's
So,
why I was wondering that when you texted me, hey, let's do moon shadows, and I'm like, la 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 la, waiting for the invite. Half an hour later, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even know that the text I can't, they don't alert loud or they don't even make a noise because I have my Bluetooth plugged in.
right, I did the message to her just say you want to do it, and then I'm thinking, when is she available? And then she's waiting for me, but I, she didn't answer me back, so I wasn't sure. And then I asked again. It's everything is that, and then the weird thing is when as soon as we got on, it was 11:11 in Chicago,
Yep.
and then I looked at my phone a minute later, and it was 12:12 here in
Yep.
Massachusetts. So we had
Those are
both
the ancestors.
11:11 and 12:12 portal energy, which is, I think, a good omen, especially considering that right now, as we do this, the moon is void, of course. It's a miracle we were even able to get on the same the page channel,
The
whatever.
moon in Gemini too, with its ruler in Cancer, can't. Well, where is Mercury right now?
Um, Let me see. Um,
So the Gemini moon's ruler in a
oh,
water sign.
wait a minute. Mercury, I don't think Mercury's in Cancer, right? Wait, hold on.
Mercury's in Leo.
Oh, well, there you go. That kind of makes sense, right?
Mercury's in Leo. Hot words and marbled because the void, of course. Yeah, we're lucky we pulled it off. Hey.
Oh, wait, what do we say? Oh, Mercury. Yeah, Mercury. Mercury is,
Leo.
no,
Oh, it's not in Leo.
it's
It's
not.
going into Leo
It's
on the
in
26th.
Cancer.
It's Mercury is in Cancer. So the words
Mercury is in Cancer.
are like not as fluid.
So
And the ruler
everything,
of the
pretty
moon.
much everything points back to the sign of Cancer, which I just want to point out is the first zodiac sign that we come into contact with feelings.
Yeah.
And as a Cancer, I can attest to this. You feel things that you don't know what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And so what you need to do is you need to take that feeling, draw it inside, and digest it. Cancer rules the breasts, our ability to nurture and be nurtured, and our stomach, the ability to break things down into digestible forms. So if you don't know what's going on and you're trying to figure it out, bring it in, chew it up, chew over it, see what comes up. We're in a we're also, there's also that synodic cycle that's in its balsamic phase, which is Saturn and Neptune, that's coming to an end, and that started back in 89. So So there are things from that time that are coming back around for those of us who've lived long enough to have been in those times and now in this time, where things are sort of coming around. And that was when I like became a chiropractor and started my practice and started, yeah, I actually worked for somebody before I got my own practice, but it was like right out of school and
Yeah.
so it was just a whole different thing. My husband is looking in to see if he can no, not yet. Okay.
Garden.
uh
New moon.
it's great. The garden is great. He watered it last. I said, you gotta.
Starting to kind of consume some of its. I know. I love it though. I love that. I love that. I know. And all you eat is like green food, like all
Yeah,
summer.
there's nothing wrong with that. We've already gotten a couple of the peas, the flat peas. What do you call those? I love those. Just munch on those. No
Yeah.
tomatoes yet, but we'll get the tomatoes soon.
You
But
know what? It's okay because tomatoes you're going to be picking in November. They don't really have a production like until August.
right, exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah. But is there anything else that you want to add or that's on your
I
mind?
think, yeah, I don't know. Just this is going to be an interesting new moon. Definitely, uh, your moon water. If you make moon water, this one in Cancer, the water sign, everything is, and use it to just kind of splash yourself later. Definitely has an ancestral pull
Yeah.
to it. And identifying feelings,
And call in the ancestors
you
because
know?
they're right here. They're waiting. We're not going through this alone. We have each other, but we also have everybody who's come before us in what how we experience the timeline. Um, and so call them in because they're here to help.
Yeah, very active moon.
All right. Well, I think we've said enough. I've certainly sweat enough. Very, very watery, very water signy for me to be. I said to Ona, I was like, like, look at me. She goes, it's all right, it's hot. People will just
Yeah,
stay. So let's just try to
yeah.
cool off a little.
You
No,
can't
that didn't
avoid
help.
it.
Okay.
Just keep cool and take care of yourselves. And there, you don't even have a choice. You have to.
Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
You have to. That's the new moon in Cancer. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I hope this is helpful to y'all. And
Vicky, it's
we'll,
12-12.
it's what?
12-12.
Oh my goodness. And so it was just 111 for me.
Yep.
Um, we'll see you on Mystic Sisters on Ona's channel on Saturday night.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. We love you. Take care of yourself, please. And keep an eye out for your neighbors. And if you know somebody with all this heat and stuff, somebody elderly, check in on them, make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
And leave some water out for the animals. That's it. I'm stopped. I
Oh,
stopped. Yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Oops, now I gotta find the exit. Oh dear.